It wasn't that long ago that almost nobody outside of East Texas even heard of Lindale, Texas. Now it's one of the fastest growing towns in all of East Texas, and the people moving here are not who you'd expect. I'm talking about people leaving Dallas, Fort Worth, DFW, or Houston, California, Colorado. People who could choose to live anywhere, and they're choosing this little town just off Interstate 20. There's a reason for that. Actually, there's several reasons. And one of them caught me off guard the first time I really looked at it. I'm Rebecca Williams, a real estate professional and local neighborhood expert in the greater East Texas area. And over the next 12 minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly why people are moving to Lindale, what it's actually like to live here, and the one thing you need to know before you make the move yourself. Stick around, the part that most people get wrong, and something I didn't see coming until I helped a few clients through it. This is Living in East Texas, the channel where I help you figure out what life is actually like in Lindale, Hideaway, Mineola, Tyler, and all the surrounding areas, and I help you figure out whether moving here is right for you. If you're new here, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next neighborhood breakdown. But wait, there's more. This channel is not just for buyers that are thinking about moving to the East Texas area, it's also for the people who already live here. It's also for people who are considering selling houses. I lived in Lindale for 7 years and I've lived in Hideaway for 8, so you can move all around East Texas, and each town has its own characteristics, pulse, lifestyle, amenities, and so much more, which is why I video so you guys will know what it's like to live in East Texas. Let's get back to it. Lindale's location is a genuine sweet spot. It's my opinion that Lindale probably grew initially mainly because of its proximity to the Interstate 20. Interstate 20 is the east-west corridor that runs from DFW area and beyond out west over to Shreveport, Louisiana, onto Mississippi, and all the way east. This location makes it excellent because you can be in downtown Dallas within 90 or so minutes or Shreveport, Louisiana in the same amount of time. You're also in a smaller town than Tyler, Texas. Tyler, Texas is the largest city in all of East Texas with a population of over 112,000 as of 2025. The broader Tyler metro area is over 250,000 people, and that would include all the little satellite towns all surrounding Tyler, including Lindale. Lindale's population in 2010 was around 4,800 and in 2024 over 7,000. With all that being said, it lets you know that Lindale is not doing anything but growing, but we still have that small town community feel. You can drive down almost any of the county roads, farm to market roads, and you will more than likely see a new construction neighborhood. You will also see changes in the roads and the infrastructure because Lindale knew that it needed to improve many of the roadways and widen them to accommodate the growth that we've already experienced, but we know is coming in the future. Many people want to move to the area because they realize that they can usually buy a property with a larger lot. A lot of the people who move here are looking for larger lots or plats of land that they can build a homestead on. Many of the neighborhoods, and especially the new construction over the last 5 to 10 years, are on at least half-acre tracts. Not all of them, of course. It's not necessarily cookie cutter that way, but there are many neighborhoods with at least half-acre lots. This is very attractive if you're coming from a Dallas or Fort Worth suburb where you are shaking your neighbor's hand from your kitchen window. Lindale gives you breathing room. There's also great opportunities here to own some smaller and even large farm and ranch properties. When I first moved to Lindale in 2011, the main downtown commerce was situated on several blocks around downtown, with many of the main businesses lying on Hubbard, which is Farm to Market Road 16 east and west, and Highway 69 that runs north-south. I heard that the city of Lindale had purchased a large plat of land near the downtown area and not soon after started developing what we now know as the Cannery. The Cannery at this time is where the Pink Pistol is located. That's Miranda Lambert's store. It's a big tourist spot. It's a great little store with clothing, Miranda Lambert memorabilia. Also has a wine tasting room because because Miranda Lambert also has her own line of wines. Over the years, the Cannery has changed and grown. While the older buildings are still just a block or two away, a lot of people don't necessarily consider this fully walkable like some other towns can be, like Mineola or even downtown Tyler. Lindale developed Darden Harvest Park that has its own walking trail, a park for children, a splash pad, and with the extension and addition of more sidewalks, Lindale is more walkable than it ever has been. Pickers Pavilion is also one of the buildings downtown. I've got several videos where I kind of highlight that, so you guys go check those out. Lindale has tons of restaurants, local bars for entertainment. Lindale downtown does have tons of shopping. Not necessarily chain stores, but there are a lot of unique clothing stores. There's several boutiques. One of my favorite stores is Lindale Candy Company. I've featured Lindale Candy Company on several videos in the past, so if you want to do a search on my Lindale videos and see if you can watch those. If you haven't visited this store, the best description I can tell you is that it is a large candy store. They also have a viewing window where you can actually watch them make candy. They will post their candy making schedule on their Facebook page, and I've had so much fun several times bringing people from out of the area to go check it out. It's very hard for me to narrow down some of my favorite places because I have lived in this area for 15 years, but some local favorite restaurants for me are TXM, which is also a music venue, and I'm probably going to butcher the name, but there is an Italian restaurant downtown at the Cannery called Lacassio's Italian Kitchen. So good. I highly recommend the tiramisu. There's a few other restaurants closer to the interstate. Lindale has a good portion of the normal chain fast food restaurants and multiple locally owned chains. There are many restaurants to choose from when you are visiting Lindale, Texas. Another favorite, it's a little off the beaten path between Hideaway and Lindale, is Brisket Love, also a music venue. Another reason that people choose to come here in the first place or stay here is Lindale Independent School District. If you're looking for a top rated school in the state of Texas and the top rated school in all of East Texas, Lindale is where it's at. Hideaway does lie within Lindale School District. One more reason that people do choose Lindale is because the price point still makes really good sense. When you compare it to larger cities, your dollars can usually stretch a little bit more in Lindale. Okay, so those are the reasons that people say they're moving here. The actual reason that a lot of my clients have ended up here is something different, and it's the thing I want you to pay attention to. Here's the thing that surprises me almost every time I talk to someone who is thinking about moving to the Lindale area. They don't always talk about the houses. They don't always talk about the price. They talk about how it feels here. They like seeing kids playing at the park. I'll see newcomers make friends and plug into the community almost immediately. I know what you're probably thinking. Sure, but it is the actual reason that people stay. And it's also the reason that some people leave, because Lindale isn't for everyone. There are some features that I do talk to clients about before they pull the trigger on writing an offer or moving here if they're new to the area. I'm going to walk you through all three, and the third one is the one that nobody warns you about. Number one, the pace is real, and it's a feature. Lindale moves slower than Dallas, Houston, or larger cities. For some people, that's the whole reason they came. For others, it can take an adjustment. Restaurants close earlier. Traffic is different. Weekend energy is different. Late nights in Lindale are still just around 11 or 12. So be honest with yourself. If you really need a city pulse with more activity going on, Lindale probably isn't going to give you that. But if you want a bigger night out, Tyler is a hop, skip, and a jump away. If this is what you're looking for, then Lindale is a great choice for you. Number two, you're going to drive. Lindale is walkable in pockets in the downtown area. Day to day, you may need to drive to Tyler for big box shopping, the smaller Tyler Regional Airport, medical specialists. However, we have grown in that respect already over the last 5 years that I've seen the entire 15 I've been in the area. But certain restaurants and chains, you may end up driving to Tyler. And depending on where you live, that could be a 30 to 45 minute drive, also depending on where you're going. If you're used to more of a walkable city, then Lindale is going to be different. There are pockets of commerce in Lindale, a good portion downtown. I feel like eventually Highway 69 between the interstate and downtown will probably be almost completely lined with businesses. It's probably about 50% of the way there already, but the pockets of commerce mostly lie in the downtown area or the area closest to the interstate where 69 and I-20 intersect. Number three, the community will absorb and embrace you, but it is not always automatic. Lindale has a real community, but you do actually have to show up for it. You want to go to events at Pickers Pavilion. The Piney Woods Wine Festival is here twice a year. Lindale's Country Fest is our biggest fall festival of the year. Attend these kind of events. Eat at the local restaurants. Introduce yourself to your neighbors. A lot of people moving here expecting that small town feeling sometimes expect for the people to come to them, and it doesn't really work that way. The people who love it here plugged into the community. There are tons of special interest groups to hang out with, churches. If you have children in sports, you will definitely make friends. This is the one that nobody really warns you about. And sometimes it's the difference between people who stay here for 20 years or people who end up moving away. You will definitely find your people here. Most of the people that I've run across in this community are genuinely good people. That East Texas charm that people are looking for exists in Lindale, Texas. Look, if you're seriously thinking about moving to Lindale or anywhere in East Texas, the worst thing you can do is go to Zillow and start looking at neighborhoods. It doesn't really tell you what you need to know. I've helped people move here from across the country, locally from one town to the next, and even just a local move within Lindale. Conversations that I have with people who are moving here on the front end helps them figure out where they want to be and save headaches on the back end. Call or text me at 903-920-7413. We'll talk about what you're looking for and whether Lindale is a right fit or a different East Texas town. No pressure, no sales pitch, just a real conversation. People aren't moving to Lindale because of one thing. They're moving here because of the layered version of it. The location, sometimes the lot sizes, the downtown area, all of the commerce and growth that we're experiencing. The schools, the price points, and mostly the way it feels when you actually get here. You just want to go with it with your eyes wide open, that the pace of a smaller town, the extra driving if you're coming from a larger metro area, and the fact that to be a part of the community, you really need to plug yourself in. If you've learned something today about Lindale, Texas, drop me a comment. Ask me a question, tell me where you're moving from. I read all the comments and I try to respond to everyone. Subscribe so you don't miss my next breakdown. I'm doing these kind of mini breakdowns right now of Mineola, Tyler, Lindale, and my next one will be Hideaway. Of course, I live in Hideaway, so I have tons of videos about the community, as it is definitely a unique one in the area. But if you don't want to miss any of my videos, go ahead and subscribe. And you can click that notification bell so that you never miss when I post. Once again, I'm Rebecca Williams with Leslie Kane Realty and the Live in East Texas channel, and I hope you guys have a really great day. Thank you so much.